Hello, everyone, and welcome back to your favorite podcast. I'm Kelee.
And I'm Tricia.
You guys, I'll let Tricia say it.
Oh my gosh, I'm engaged.
Woo! Tricia is engaged. Wow.
I know.
This is so exciting. I can't believe it, but I can believe it.
Yeah.
You know what Rebecca said a few months ago randomly? She was like, is Tricia engaged? And I was like, no. And she's like, she just seems like someone that would be engaged.
Oh my God, I'm a fiance.
You are.
Or I give off a fiance vibe.
Yeah, and now like a month later you became
Official.
a fiance.
Oh my gosh. I know. It's weird. I'm still not used to saying like my fiance. My fiance this, my fiance that. It's weird.
It's so weird. Okay, I have so many questions. Where should we start? Is there anything that you want to start with?
Do you want me to tell like how it happened?
Well, I was thinking, I feel like you've never really told like your full love story on the podcast.
Oh, sure.
So I was thinking like maybe we do like a backstory. It doesn't have to be like, well, however much detail you want to provide. But I feel like it'd be fun if you started with like how you met Matt.
Yeah. Oh my God,
and,
that
like,
makes sense.
Yeah, like a background, because then I feel like the proposal story will like make more sense.
Yeah.
And like feel more special.
Okay, true.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. So where to begin? It's like, so I was born in 1996. No, just kidding. So Matt and I, his name's Matt, my fiance, we went to Villanova together. So freshman year, we lived on South Campus at Villanova, which is where all the freshman dorms are. And we were in the same dorm together. And we were actually on like the same floor, which is funny because it's a Catholic university and most other dorms were separated like the gender by floor. But we were on the same floor because our building was super old and like had different wings to it. So there was like a boy wing and a girl wing. So freshman year, like everyone on my floor all became friends, which was cool. We had a group me, GC1, because it was called Good Counsel. First floor was our like dorm. And we're still all pretty much friends to this day. Like that's my main like college friend group, which is so cute. I don't remember the first time I saw Matt. He said he remembers the first time he met me. And he was like, oh, she's pretty. Like he claims that. I don't know. He didn't say that out loud or anything, but he claims that he had that thought. I don't really remember the first time I met him, but I do know that I always thought he was super cute and kind of had like a little crush on him for as long as I've known him pretty much. Just because I was like, oh, he's cute and like he's nice, like because I know his personality and stuff. So yeah. But yeah, so we were all friends, and then, you know, freshman year, like your friends come and go, and then our core group kind of settled out finally, and it was mostly boys and then like a few girls, and he was in the core group, but there was like 25 of us, so I didn't really know him that well. Okay. I was closer with the girls and like a few of the other guys, and then he was closer with just like a bunch of like the guys in our friend group. I don't want to go into like too much detail and be boring about it. So yeah, we just like would occasionally get like dinners together as friend groups. I never really talked to him like too much.
This is freshman year still, right? Okay.
He's from Chicago, so every summer he'd go back to Chicago where he lives. And sophomore year, I remember Villanova won the basketball championship. We were all so excited, and we were like running out on campus after they won, and everyone was like just going crazy like in the quad and stuff. And Matt and I, like, we were trying to like get through crowds and stuff, like all my friends, and we kind of formed like a human train, and we were like holding hands, and I was next to him and I was like holding his hand. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Yeah, just like little stuff like that. And then
when you were holding his hand, were you like, oh my God, I'm holding Matt's hand?
Yeah, freaking out.
That's so cute.
Yeah. My mom said she remembers back in freshman year, she came to like, because Villanova's nearby, so she would sometimes like drop by and like bring me stuff for like food or whatever, because I didn't have a car to get off campus. Mm-hmm. She said that one time she was, I don't remember this, but she was like dropping something off to me, and he like walked by, and I was like, oh, like that's my friend Murph. That's what we called him in college, like everyone, because there were so many Matts, so they all had their own different names. So he went by Murph. His last name's Murphy. And he walked by, and I was like, oh yeah, like that's my friend Murph. I'm like, I kind of have a crush on him. I don't remember saying that, but she said that. I said that. I'm like, oh my God, that's so funny. Because he'll tease me. He's like, no, you didn't. Like, he doesn't believe me. But I'm like, I have proof.
Yeah, you have a witness.
Yeah, exactly. And then my younger sister, Julia, has like a similar story. Apparently, I talked about him to her at one point too. So I'm like, I have some proof here.
Yeah.
So yeah, we started dating junior year. I don't know how. We just kind of started like texting each other more, and then we started dating officially. We would like hang out a lot.
How did it go from like you guys were in the same friend group to talking romantically? Like what was like the change?
I have to think about it. It's just been a long time.
Yeah. Because when did we start? We started college in 2014.
Yeah.
And graduated 2018. And now it's 2024. So you guys have been together for a while.
Yeah. So like I said, I had always thought he was cute and like kind of had a crush on him. I had dated other people though, like in the meantime.
In between, yeah.
He was just like this guy I always thought was cute, which I feel like that's not weird.
No.
You know, I feel like a lot of people do that. They're like, oh, that guy's cute. It's not like you're like trying to like date or anything.
No, you're just like, yeah.
Yeah, he was just always there, and I was like, oh my God, he's cute. So yeah, sophomore year, we held hands, and apparently he was walking back to his dorm after that happened, and he told his friend, he's like, I think I'm gonna date her. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because he told me that later when he told me that, he's like, I just always thought that you were like the type of girl that you weren't like, I don't know, jumping around from person to person. Like if you were gonna like hang out with someone or date someone, like you would like invest in them. Like he said that about me. Like I would want a relationship and like to be like serious with someone. I wasn't like dating around or whatever. So yeah, I think he caught the vibe that I was like pretty interested when we were holding hands.
That's so
it's
cute.
Like so dumb to like say it now because it sounds so like elementary school.
Yeah. Like you held hands
and
like,
we were literally
So
sophomores
cute.
in college. Like it's so funny. But low key we had been drinking a little and we just like didn't let go like the entire night. Yeah, even after we got through the crowd. So that's why I think he kind of was like, okay, she seems interested. And then, walking back.
So it started as like, you just need to get through a crowd, but then it was like a little flirty thing. Like, okay, love that. Wait, I never heard that story.
Yeah,
I love that for you.
I know. So and then he said that to his friend. I obviously didn't know about that. I think he had said he was interested in me. Like he heard I had like broken up with whoever I was with. And he was like, oh, like, I heard Tricia's single to like someone else, and I heard that he had said that, and I was like, oh my God, like, is he interested in me? Because I don't know, he was just like this like cute guy I'm like, everyone probably loves him, like I don't have a shot with him, you know? I'm like, he's just like every girl loves him because he's so cute and nice and stuff. So I just wasn't like, I was always interested, but I'm like, nah, it probably won't happen.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, someone else prettier or cuter will come along and swipe him away, and not really, but that sounds like so self-deprecating. I don't know. I'm obviously I think I like deserve him.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, it won't happen. So so it was actually after I heard that he was like kind of interested. I think that I like sent him a Snapchat or something. He probably doesn't even remember any of this. This is how I think it happened because I like don't really remember like in detail. We started Snapchatting. So I think I had sent him a Snapchat and I was just kind of like feeling it out. I'm like, will he respond? Will we like keep up a convo over Snapchat, or will it just kind of like fall off? But I was like, I'm gonna like send him something and see if he responds. Or it was like a little to see if he was interested.
Do you remember what it was?
No idea. I just know that we started Snapchatting first, and I'm sure I'm the first one that sent one, and I'm sure it was to like gauge some interest.
Wait, was it like flirty, or was it just like, hey, what's up?
No, it was probably like something to do with Villanova or something, you know, like
so something casual. Like it wasn't
like OMG basketball or something. Okay. Like, I don't know, and just send it to him individually, see if he responded. And he did. And we Snapchatted for a while into the summer, going into junior year. So by then it was like we were Snapchatting like, oh, this is like so silly.
So funny thinking about like you guys, and like because if you saw Tricia and Matt in real life, you'd be like, wow, they have such like a strong, healthy, like mature, like stable, like beautiful relationship. And then it's like we were Snapchatting for the summer.
Yeah, literally. Like
it sounds so foreign to hear you say that.
I know. Like I was just Snapchatting this guy. Like I know. I know.
Crazy.
Yeah, so we were like back and forth over Snapchat for I guess months. And then when we got back to school, junior year, his birthday is in September, and he was the first of all of our friends to turn 21, I believe. So it was like a big deal. And I remember I somehow got his phone number. I asked.
Wait, you didn't have his
I didn't
number?
even have it. No, I didn't have it. Because for my friend group, we all used Snapchat and GroupMe pretty much. And
that's so weird. Wait, what's GroupMe? How do you not have do you not have people's numbers?
No, you can just like, I think you can just sign up with GroupMe and join it. I'm assuming it's like WhatsApp, or it's like a texting app.
Got
but
it.
back then, I'm pretty sure group chats on iPhones had like a max limit and GroupMe did not.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So we used GroupMe so we could fit like 20 something people into it and talk that way.
Wow, that's so crazy that you didn't even have his number.
So there was like no need to ask for like most of my friends' numbers that I didn't like talk to that often.
Right.
So I had the people that I was like closest with. Obviously I had their phone numbers, could text them about like getting lunch or whatever you talk about in college. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then like the GroupMe was like all of our friends, and that was
your whole like dorm floor basically.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's weird to think about now. I didn't even have his number, but it just like made sense at the time.
Yeah.
I didn't need it. I had other means of communicating with people. So I don't know. So I got his phone number on the night of his 21st birthday so I could text him happy birthday.
Who did you get it from? A friend?
I don't remember.
Okay, but not from him.
Yeah.
Just a friend of a friend.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I know, just knowing me, I probably thought way too far into it and was like, how can I get his number without seeming weird or suspicious?
Yeah.
Like to anyone else that I would like get it from.
They're like, why? Do you like him?
I know. Literally, that was like my fear. So I wish I could remember like how I got his number, who gave it to me, but I don't know.
It's so funny that like back then you would be like scared for people to know who you were like into.
Yes.
Because if it didn't work out, it's like, oh, well, she likes him, but like he doesn't like her back. And it's like,
so
that was so real even in college.
Yes.
Like, I feel like now it's like shoot your shot, but in college it was so like, I don't know. Like people be like, I think you have a crush on him. And it's like, no,
I don't.
Yeah. Like, why was it like that?
I know.
Looking back, we should have just been like, yeah, I do. Like, let him know.
I know. And even now I'm like, oh my God, like, can I act like I like him, or are people gonna make fun of me? Like, we're literally engaged. But I know it's so funny. It is so funny. But yeah, so I definitely was like making it a bigger thing than I needed to. But I got his number, texted him happy birthday, and he told me later that he was like so pumped that he got that text.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yay. Wait, so did you say like, it's Tricia, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Hey, it's Trish. Happy birthday. Like something like that, probably.
And he was like out at the bar and he's like smiling down at his phone.
Yeah, exactly.
My future wife.
No, I think he had like a test the next day. So we were in like apartment style dorms junior year, and I think a bunch of people like went over and surprised him or whatever, gave him beers and like had like a big thing for him.
Right, because he was the first, so like people could really go out with him.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. So they were just like in his dorm, and he was like, oh yay, but also like stressed because he had a test. And I was like writing a paper. I didn't even go.
Yeah.
I was invited because I was like, again, I was like part of the friend group, but like there were so many of us. I don't know. I didn't go because I was doing other work and stuff, but I was like, I could text him maybe.
Scheming.
Exactly. So yeah, then we started texting a bit, and like it was clear that there was interest there. I feel like if I was ever unsure about someone being interested in me, then I was just like, nope, and like stopped. Because I don't know, I wasn't super bold, and like also, is it worth it to like go after someone that's not interested in you? Like probably not. You can probably find someone way better that actually like loves you. So like thinking back, I'm like, wow, I was like bold, like just thinking about like the stuff that I like did or said. I'm like, okay, but I'm like, well, no, it was clear that he liked me, so that's why I was like confident enough to like text him or do stuff. Like, I don't know, I wouldn't have done that if I was just like into this guy and no idea how he felt about me. Like it was reciprocated, like it was clear, especially with our Snapchatting and stuff. So yeah, then we started like texting, and then like we started hanging out a little bit junior year, and then he took forever to ask me out.
Wait, so then you guys started like hanging out and going on dates?
Yeah, we mostly just like hung out at either one of our apartments, or like we would get lunch on campus and stuff.
Okay.
Because, you know, it's college. We didn't like go ball out on dinner or anything.
Yeah.
I think it was like December when we like actually started hanging out in person. Like before, it was like September, I texted him for his birthday. We texted a bunch, like didn't really like hang out in person. Wow. I was nervous around him in person. And then December, I think we started hanging out in person. And then in March is like our dating anniversary. He asked me to be his girlfriend. Okay. And I think it was after that we went on like a first official like dinner date.
Wait, really?
Yeah. It was.
Well, I guess that makes sense though for college.
I know.
College is such a different world.
Exactly.
Like you don't have money, you don't have a job to like be going out to dinner.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. You live like a 2-minute walk from people, so like we just like would hang out and see each other.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is different, like thinking about it, how like dating would be now in my late 20s. But yeah, so then we started dating and it was super fun. We would go visit each other like during the summer and stuff because like he's from Chicago, like I said. And then after college, we did long distance for 4 years. He lived in Chicago or Illinois. He was like he had a job like in the middle of nowhere, Illinois. And I was back in Philly, and we would try and visit each other every month. Like we would switch on and off like who would come to who. Mm-hmm. So that was a lot of fun.
Man,
Not really.
I can't believe you did that for 4 years. That's so long.
Yeah. And we would try and make it so that like our visits could be 4 or 5 days long, not just like a weekend. So I don't even know how we did that, but we would try and make it like worth it because like at the time like I was like babysitting and doing odd jobs because I was trying to go back to nursing school, so I didn't really have like a job making like good money. So we were like, if we're gonna like pay for flights, we gotta like spend some time with each other and stuff. But yeah, we made it work. And then Matt moved here in 2021. Actually, it was like December 30th of 2021. So 2022 kind of.
Okay, yeah. Those start,
Now we're living together and now we're engaged. Woohoo!
Wow. Okay. Wait, let me see my questions that I wrote down for you. Well, I don't know what you should tell first. Why don't you just tell the proposal now, and then I'll get into my questions. Okay, the proposal.
Oh my God.
Wait, by the way, we can drink this champagne.
Oh, should we pop it?
Should we?
Or twist?
I feel like we should.
Okay.
Oh I like forgot about it, and then I was like, wait, no, we brought it down here.
They look so cute just sitting there.
I know.
Too. Oh my God, they're so cute. Thank you so much. I love a little bottle of Prosecco.
I know. Oh, it has wait, I'll wait for you to take it off. Okay. I don't think they're gonna. We'll just do it over the carpet in case it like pops off. So okay, it's actually Prosecco. Oh, it's a twist off. I'll wait for you. I think I got mine almost all the way off.
Oh my word. Okay. Oop, there we go. Yeah.
It is a twist off.
Cute. So cute. How is it?
It's good. I'm getting over an illness, so I feel like I can only like half taste. Like, you know how when you like... Well, I was congested. No, this is like such a downer of the story, irrelevant. But you know how like your nose and your throat and your mouth are all connected? Mm-hmm. And if you don't breathe, you can't taste?
Yeah.
I was like not breathing through my nose, and I feel like I can like only taste like half of like everything.
That's the worst.
It tastes like it's good though.
It does taste good. I like it.
I love it. Okay. Now we get into the proposal.
Okay. When I was leaving to come here, he was like, don't make me sound bad. I'm like, I would never. Okay. All I'll say...
Don't make me sound bad.
All I'll say is that I was super ready for this to happen. And I was like, come on, let's do this. And he was like, all right, hold on. Like, let me take my time and plan it. And I was like, no, come on, let's like hurry up. And I was like getting annoyed. Also, like low-key, I do need to say, I feel like that is super normal for like one person to be like super ready to get engaged and the other person is like not ready. And then it can create some like disagreements.
Yeah.
I feel like no one talks about that, and every proposal that you see, like the girl is like shocked and surprised and so happy, and it's like the guy like planned it on his own and did it and she had no idea.
But that's what they want you to think.
Exactly. But I'm like, no one talks about it, that like maybe sometimes you're ready, they're not, and then you get a little annoyed for a little bit and then they do it. But like,
no, I feel like that's so normal. And I also think we have to clarify between like one partner is like immature and putting it off and like doesn't actually want to marry you.
Right.
And then the other one's like begging for marriage. Like that's one situation. Right. And that would be like an unhealthy relationship.
Yeah.
But I think like we've talked about this for so long. Like Tricia and Matt just had like a different kind of relationship. And like, I don't know if you want to go into like detail about like all of like your family life, but like the way that you're raised, the way that you like see other marriages, see other friends, like all of that like actually impacts the way that you see marriage and proposals. And do we want to get married or do we want to just live together forever? Like,
right.
And then sometimes you are like, I don't need to get married. And then you change your mind. You're like, actually, I do want to get married now. Yeah. Like, because I realized that like marriage is like great, or like, I don't know. Like sometimes you're like, it's just a piece of paper. Like, why do we need it? And then you like change your mind. So like, I don't know. Hearing like your story and like seeing the way that you guys lived together for years, it makes sense. Like I feel like that, like what you're saying is like an important thing to talk about when you're in a healthy relationship and like you're doing great and like you have a great life together, but then you maybe have like different ideas of like when's the right time for marriage at like, I don't know, at a certain point in your relationship. But like that is like so interesting.
I know. I just felt like I never saw that with other people. So I was like super ready to get engaged. So, okay, we come from like a traditionally Catholic family, and you know, you date, you get married, you have kids, like that's like the expectation.
Yeah.
That's the expectation, but that's also, it is what I want. Like I do want to get married and like have a family. And my older sister got engaged when she was like 25, I believe. And her husband like came to me. He's like, I'm going to propose to Emily. I'm so excited. And I was like, oh my God, yay. Like that's so exciting. They're 25. He does it. She's shocked. Like didn't see it coming. They're both pumped. We have a big engagement party. Yay. They get married. Amazing. So then I am like 25, 26 and I'm like, all right, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Like, here we go. This is how it works. This is like what's expected. And it didn't come. And it's not that Matt didn't want to get married. He wanted to get married. He's like, you're the one. Like, we're going to get married. Like, you are it. But I guess he had a different timeline in his head, which totally makes sense. But I just feel like, I don't know, you just see stuff online and even like people around you and like the guy or, you know, whoever, like he does it on his own accord and like the girl is shocked and oh my God. But I just want to say like it is normal for one person to be ready and the other one's not to be. And like maybe it is a little, I don't know, like disappointing for a little bit. Like you're like, okay, well, I wanted to get married like last year or something and like I'm still waiting. And I don't know, like I don't want to make it sound like, I don't want to badmouth Matt at all. Like,
oh my God, no, it's just like real.
I don't. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it doesn't always have to be like, I don't know. I just felt like a little bit alone where I'm like, okay, no one else seems to go through it in this way where like they have to have discussions about when's the best time and like who's ready, who's not, and what makes sense. And like, it's not just like all super duper happy, yay, oh my gosh. I don't know. It's like a very serious thing to do. It's like a big, obviously it's a big commitment. It's also like a large amount of money that maybe you're going to drop on like a wedding or a ring or something. So there's a lot to consider. So it does make sense that some people are going to be like, well, hold on, let's like talk this out. But I just want to like say like it's fine if, I don't know, like you aren't like, oh my God, super surprised, didn't see this coming, and like the guy just like does it, or the girl, whoever, like just does it for you, and like there was no tense discussions beforehand. Like, yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, I just feel like I never saw that, so I want to be the one to say like that's a thing and it's okay.
I love that you're being honest about that, because I think what you're saying,
like sorry.
No, I think that what you're saying is probably so common, but people are scared to say it because there's like so many unhealthy relationships that
right.
The problem emerges when one person wants to get married, probably the girl, and she has to like beg the guy to marry her, and it's so clear that they don't want to get married, and they call it like shut up rings, and it's like, fine, if you stop asking me.
I've never heard that.
I think it's so interesting, and I watched this girl on TikTok, not girl, like woman, but she does like, I literally wanted to talk about this on the podcast at some point, but
oh my God, perfect.
I forget her name, but I can like link it in the description. But she makes like all these analyses on unhealthy relationships, and she calls it shut up rings. Okay. When the girl is like begging the guy to get married and the guy is like dragging his feet and he doesn't want to marry her. And a lot of times, like in relationships like this, they'll either get married or they'll get engaged or whatever, or they break up. But when they break up, then the guy goes and like marries the next girl like that.
I have heard of that.
Yeah. And it's like, that's because he never liked you. Like, it's not because he wasn't ready or he wasn't like whatever the hell. Like, I don't know. It's like they're all examples of unhealthy relationships, and like you see it come out in all these different ways. But then I feel like nobody talks about the fact that you can be in an extremely healthy relationship and you can be life partners and decide with each other, like, you're the person I want to spend my life with, but still not align on like, oh yeah, we should have our literal wedding next year. Like, you can still not align on that. Like, I feel like for myself, I like don't want to get married anytime soon. Right. And like, if I had a partner who came to me, like if my boyfriend, who we've been dating for like a year and a half, if he came to me in the next year and was like, what do we think? Like, marriage soon? I'd be like, absolutely not. But it's not because I don't love him or like envision life with him. It's because like, I don't know, marriage is just a different step, and mentally you need to be like ready for it, and you need to be like really wanting it to happen.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I feel like it hits different people at different times. And like our other cousin, for example, got engaged. They're getting married soon. She got engaged like, I guess a year ago. They didn't want to get married for so long. And she's like, one day I woke up and I was like, I'm just ready to get married now. And then they talked about it and they happened to align on that feeling. And then I guess they got engaged in the next like year or so.
Yeah.
So like it's really just like dependent on like how you feel as a person. And like, I don't know, I appreciate that you're being honest about that, because I think that what you're saying where like, oh, people like post online and it's like the girl had no idea. It's like that TikTok sound that's like, she wore shoulder pads and a mini dress and heels to the beach. She knew she was getting proposed to, or like something like that.
I haven't seen that. Oh my God, that's so funny though.
Yes, it's like this, I don't know what it's from. I'm sure it's from like a reality show or something, but all these girls who just got engaged are posting it about themselves because they're like wearing this beautiful like dress and heels to like go to like a cliffside. Yeah. And they're like, I knew I was getting engaged.
Obviously.
Like, they plan it too. And like, I'm sure so many people that are in healthy relationships had talks about like, and I guess it's like a similar thing with like moving in together. There could be a couple that's like ready to move in together or they're not. And I feel like it's people are so quick to be like, well, if you don't want to move in together, like if he doesn't want to move in with you or she doesn't want to move in with you, you're not meant to be. I just feel like it's so easy to be like, if you're not ready to do X, Y, and Z like life thing, like you're not meant to be, move on. Like not necessarily. Like sometimes you just need to have like healthy discussions and honest discussions about like where you're at in your life and where you see the next few years. And some people like, I don't know, you want to do it when you have this job or like when you finally settle into like this stage of life and then you're ready to like move on and like enter this new phase of life. Like, I don't know. I just think that like when you are in a healthy relationship, you're allowed to have discussions and disagreements that then you like work through and you work out and then you decide the resolution together at another time. Like, I don't know. I think it's so commendable that you are being honest about like the fact that you guys were engaged for so long and then like when you were both ready, that's when you became engaged.
Dating for so long.
Oh, what did I say?
Engaged.
Oh yeah, sorry. You were dating for so you guys were dating for so long. Yes, thank you. And then when you were like ready to move on to the next stage, like then it happened, you know, when both of you were.
Yeah, it's just tough because I don't know, like we were like having these discussions and I was like ready, which also like we could psychoanalyze that. It's like, was I ready or was I just like seeing other people around me getting engaged young and I'm like, okay, I need to keep up. Like we need to do this, you know, like, did I actually want that? I don't even know. Like I don't even know. It's like, was it comparison or I don't know. I think I would have been happy, but I am like super happy that it happened now in my life. But anyways, it is tough. Like you're having these discussions and you're looking around and like no one else seems to be like having these disagreements on like their timeline and stuff. And then like you don't want to say anything because you don't want someone to be like, well, are you in like a bad relationship then? Like if you know, like, oh, he's not ready. Like he's, like you said, like he's not into you and stuff. Like,
like dragging his feet.
Yeah, like I didn't want anyone saying that to me. Like, oh, well, like he must not be the one. I'm like, no. We've agreed. Like we are each other's person. Like he's my person. We've agreed on that. Like, it was just like where he saw himself getting married in life was later than where I did. But then again, it's like, I don't even really know what I wanted. So I remember I did start like telling my friends about it. Like, I'm ready, but like, it doesn't seem like he is. And it's like a little bit frustrating because I want to start our life together. Like I want to get the ball rolling. I feel like we're almost like stagnant where we are. Not really, but like, I'm just ready for the next step. And then some of them did start opening up to me that they were having similar conversations, and it's like I don't know if anyone would have ever shared that because it's just like kind of scary to share it. You just don't want people to like start hating on your partner. I don't know, like so I'm happy that like I talked to other people and they were in the same boat as me because I'm like I really felt like I was the only one that like this wasn't coming like super naturally and like flowing exactly how I wanted it to go and stuff. But I am really happy that Matt decided to wait until we were in our like I'm 28, he's 29. We're only like a few months apart, but like right now we're in our late 20s and we're living together. We're super settled in. Like I don't know, it's just it feels right for right now. And I'm happy that it happened when it happened. Like it all worked out and I'm like I was a little stressed for a little bit. I'm like, oh, we still have like to plan a wedding, which takes a while. Like we just gotta, get started. And I'm babbling right now, I feel like.
No, you're not at all.
Yeah, I'm happy that it happened when it happened, even though I was like a little bit stressed beforehand. But yeah, I do want to just like put a disclaimer, like it wasn't like, oh my God, like everything went perfectly and everything is happy and stuff. It was like a little bit difficult for a while just because, but it makes sense because we were long distance for 4 years. How would we have gotten engaged and planned a wedding when we were living
and, like,
apart?
Moved in together, like that's so hard.
And then he moved halfway across the country to live like near me. We weren't living together, but like that's a big life change. Like I feel like you've got to take some time for yourself and settle into that and like, you know, get your flow and like feel comfortable in your new space, and you're so far away from your family. Like it's all just like a lot to take in. So of course you're not going to jump into like an engagement at that same time too. So it did all make sense, and I am happy like with how it happened, but it wasn't like without stress.
Yeah.
So,
and I feel like a lot of people tend to like date for like 3 or 4 years, sometimes a little bit less. And then it's time to get married now. And then they get married, and whether they're happy or not, who knows? But like, I appreciate it more when it's not just like a formula. Yeah. That you're like, well, I just have to, like, could you imagine if like you got engaged because your partner was like, we've been dating for 3 years, so like, I guess we get married now. Yeah. Like, I would not want that. Right. Like, I would not. And I've literally heard people say that. Like, I've literally heard people be like, yeah, we were just together for so long, so I figured it's the next step. It's like, I would actually get divorced. I would have that marriage annulled. Like, that's insane. That's an insane statement to say. So like, I just appreciate it so much more. 2 things gonna happen. He's just like, yeah, sure, we just get married now. When one of the partners like isn't ready, but all of these things are being forced upon them, they're not gonna be happy internally because it's gonna be overwhelming, and it's not gonna be like their truest self. They have to fake all these things, and that down the line, if it doesn't create resentment in that moment, it's going to create it somewhere, and it's going to come out at some point in your life. But I think the more mature thing is to talk about it and be like, wait, by the way, I am not ready for this yet. I need to like, you know, keep flowing down my stream of life. And like him being honest about that, and like you being honest about where you were, like that says so much more than a ring on your finger, in my opinion. Yeah. You know, thank you. Like being able to talk about that and like work through it and like find a timeline together rather than like one person is like forced into something that they're not ready for. Like that's huge. Yeah. Yeah, I am. I'm just happy that it went how it did. And yeah, I think that even through all that, we did find like a really productive way to communicate and like a healthy way to, like share our thoughts and feelings and stuff. So it was all meant to be, and it was all like for the best, I guess you could say. So I was going to ask you, when's like the first time that you talked about marriage? Because when we were talking about like proposals where like the girl is surprised, like I love a surprise. Like I definitely think surprises are fun, but I don't think that I think the proposal could be the surprise, but the engagement shouldn't be, or like the idea of marriage shouldn't be like a surprise. Like I'm sure you guys have talked about that, like obviously for years. Yeah. But do you remember like the first times that you're like, we're probably gonna like spend our lives together? Yeah. Like, was that like really early on? Yeah. Oh, that's so fun. It was literally like, let me think. So we started dating March of 2017. I think, like officially. And I think it was in the following fall of that same year. Oh my God, I don't want to embarrass Matt, but I remember this conversation, so I'm going to share it. We were like out at a bar, and he was like, we were just talking, I don't even know what, we were still in college, and he was like, oh, I was on the phone with my dad today, and he was like asking how you were, and I was like, oh, nice, like, how's he doing? He's like, yeah, good. And he was asking me like if I think you're the one, and I said, yeah. Like, that's what Matt, like, told me. And I was like, oh, okay. So, but I was, like, so happy to hear that. Like, I was like, oh, my God. Sweet. Yeah. I was like, well, okay, so we're going to get married? He's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. Sounds good. Like, something like that. That's so it was early on. But, God. We were just, like, super into each other and got along so well. So, it's like, all right. So, I think that was. I love it. Okay. Yeah. Should we get into the proposal? Yeah. All right, let me think where to begin. I feel like I've told this story like quite a few times now. I'm sure everyone asks. Yes, I've got it nailed down now. This summer, I was thinking it was going to happen, and he was kind of saying like, yeah, it'll like be this summer. I don't even know why we talked about that. I mean, that's not important, whatever. Anyways, this summer, it kind of like got away from us. Like stuff just kept happening throughout the summer. Like we looked at our calendar and we were like, okay, cool. We only have like 2 weddings. They're both like family weddings. And then like the rest of the summer is pretty much free. We have like a trip in August
and then September and stuff like with our families. Sick, so free. No, it was like every weekend we would get like texted or something like, are you free? Can you do this? Blah, blah, blah. Like it was just like it could never, like we were never free. Like every single weekend of the summer was gone.
Oh my God.
Which makes me sad.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was still fun. Not important, but it was like a stress for Matt because I think he wanted to do it earlier, but stuff just kept coming up and he's like, oh my God, like, okay, I guess I'll wait until next weekend. And then again, it couldn't happen. So I started a new job. I got hired in like May. I finished out my like scheduled shifts at my inpatient job until the end of June. And then I started my new job at the end of July. And I'm so annoying, but I was like to Matt, I'm like, we have to celebrate my new job.
I love it.
Because I'm like, my family wanted me to get a new job. You wanted me to get a new job. Like, because inpatient is just crazy. It's the Wild West. And like, I feel like it was weighing on me. So I had to get out. And now I'm doing outpatient infusion, which is cool. But I was like, we got to celebrate. Like, you wanted this for me and I did it. And you know, come on, like, where's my gift? But not really. But he's like, yeah, we will. And so I got the job, like I said, in like May, and nothing from Matt, like nothing the whole summer. And I was like kind of getting annoyed. I'm like, wait, like you're my boyfriend. You're supposed to like celebrate this stuff with me. And nothing ever happened. And I was like kind of annoyed. Not really, but I was like, what the heck? Like, we need to celebrate. So we went to Michigan with Matt's family in like mid-August. That's what they do every year. It's like a beach trip for them because Lake Michigan, for people who are maybe from the East Coast or wherever, not the Midwest, that's kind of like their Jersey Shore for us.
That's so crazy.
Is like Lake Michigan. They get like a lake house, but it's like a beach house on the beach. But it's like a lake and it has like sand and waves and stuff.
That's so crazy that it has waves.
Mm-hmm. So that's what we've been doing. Like I've been going for, I guess, 4 years at this point with them. So we go for a week and we just like spend the week on the beach and it's nice. And that was mid-August and Matt had to stay in Illinois later than that trip. He had like a death in his family. So he had to stay. I had to go because I couldn't like take off of work or anything. So I went back to Pennsylvania and he texted me while I was in Pennsylvania, like at work, and he was still in Illinois. And he's like, are we free this weekend? Like finally. And I was like, I think so. He's like, all right, let's do something for your new job. Like finally. I'm like, okay, cool. Sounds good. But it just kind of like, we sent that text and like, I forgot about it after that. Like I sent, okay, good. And then like out of my head, like completely forgot about it. That happened on like Tuesday. And then he got back on Thursday and I was at work on that Friday. This was all before Labor Day weekend. And he texted me, I'm actually thinking brunch for tomorrow. And I was like, what? Because I didn't remember that we were going to like do anything. So I'm like, oh my God, he's planning brunch. Why is he planning brunch? Like that's not normally something he would do.
Yeah.
So the girl that's like been training me at my new job, I told her, I'm like, I might be paranoid, but I think something might happen this weekend. Cause like I just got like a text about going to brunch. Like that's so random. And I don't know why he's planning this. Later he said, no, it was supposed to be like, oh, instead of dinner, we're doing brunch. Yeah. But I didn't remember. So in my head, I'm just like, why is he planning brunch? Anyways.
Did you ask him, like when he texted you, did you text back like, wait, why?
No, for like maybe a year and a half now, Matt's been like, okay, yeah, like we're gonna like get engaged soon. So any little thing, I'm like, oh my God, is this when it's gonna happen? Is this?
Yeah.
So I get like nervous and then I'm like, oh my God, should I do my nails or whatever? And then nothing has come of it, which is it sounds sad, but it's just like, it's fine. Like it was totally meant to be how it happened, but still like, so it was like any little thing. I'm like, oh my God, maybe now. So this was just another like, oh, maybe it'll happen. But I've already had that thought like so many other times. Let me see if I can, I'll just find the text. Okay. He texted me, how does brunch sound for tomorrow? That was it. And I was like going out to brunch. I didn't know if he meant like making us like a nice breakfast at our house. And he said, yeah, I know we talked about dinner, but I was feeling brunch. And that's when I was like, oh, okay, I forgot that we were going to do dinner. And I said, are you thinking of anywhere or do you want me to find something? That was a bit of a test because if he had something in mind, I'm like, okay, I'm real suspicious. And he actually did say, my brother-in-law, Dan, so he said, Dan was saying White Dog Cafe had great brunch, so I figured we'd go there. So then I was like kind of freaking out. I'm like, okay, he's planning brunch and he like has a restaurant picked out. I'm like, oh no. That was like pretty much it for like the texting and stuff. But he called me while I was driving home from work and he mentioned like, oh, I was thinking we could dress nice. It's like a nice place to go for brunch. And then, so backstory, every time we go out for a nice dinner, like in the past year or so, we've gone out for like my birthday and Valentine's Day and something else I don't remember. We'll go to like semi-nice places, not anything crazy, but like we'll dress up kind of nice and like go out, not like suit and tie or anything, but just nice. And I don't know what it is, but they always put us at the worst tables. Always. Like there was a place that we went to and it was such a cute restaurant. It was really pretty. We dressed nice for it. And they brought us into this room and they sat us at this little wooden table with 2 little wooden chairs on either side of it, very small. In this corner, there was like a projector screen hanging down with like a fireplace projected onto it. You couldn't get to the one chair because the screen was like almost in front of the chair.
What?
And that was the table they sat us at. And I like tried to squeeze into this chair and sit down and the projector is like hitting my shoulder, like the screen.
What?
And so that was like the 3rd time it had happened to us. So we were like, all right, no, we're sick of this. Like we're putting our foot down and we're saying something. So we were like, can we move tables? This is like not fun.
Wait, sorry. I think I got messed up. So
sorry.
The fireplace that was at the proposal brunch.
No.
Oh, no,
this is just like a backstory.
Okay.
Like we just always get the worst tables at these nice places that we go out to dinner for.
Got it. Okay.
And so we have like a theory, oh, maybe we look young or we're not dressed up enough or whatever. So they don't care where they seat us. Maybe they think we won't tip well. I don't know. So they give us these bad tables. It's just like a thing that has been happening to us recently. So on the way home from work, the Friday before Labor Day weekend, when we were chatting about brunch, I called Matt and he's like, yeah, I'm thinking we dress nice. That way they can't put us at a bad table. And I was like, okay, true. But also in my head, I'm like, you want me to dress nice? Like, all right, now I'm a little nervous. So then that night we order takeout. I'm watching him because sometimes when he's like nervous, he doesn't really eat that much or he'll be like a little bit more quiet. And he was totally fine all night. Like we were just hanging out, having a good time, like talking, eating, like he seemed normal. I was like, all right, so it's probably not going to happen then. Because he would be nervous if it was going to happen. And he was like, fine. Yeah. So I was like, The next morning we get up and, it's time to go to brunch. And I was like getting ready. And usually if my hair is not done like the night before, like if I haven't styled it with like heat and stuff, I don't have time to do it in the morning before wherever we're going. So I usually just like throw it in a bun and it looks good. But that morning I was like, no, you know what? I should have done my hair last night, but I didn't. I'm going to do it really quickly right now, but I want it to like look nice in case this is actually happening.
Oh my God.
And typically if I have the thought that, oh, it might happen, I don't know, I still don't fully like dress up as nice as I want to. I don't know. Cause usually I'm bad with like running late. Not that I like run late a lot, but I don't give myself enough time to get ready. So I do end up wearing just throwing on an outfit that's like, okay, it's not like the greatest. And like my hair just goes in a bun or something. Like I don't do my hair because I don't have enough time. But this morning I was like, all right, you know what? I'll like actually do my hair and I'll like wear a nice outfit that I'll take the time to pick it out and stuff and like not rush these things and stuff. Anyways, we were still running late. Like even so, I don't know, but he seemed very calm and I was like, I'm really sorry, I just like wanted to do my hair and like it's taking longer than I thought. He's like, it's fine, we'll just call him. We were like 10 minutes late, which isn't like anything crazy. I feel like, but I felt bad. I was like, I'm sorry. And he's like, no, it's fine. He was like super calm and I'm like, okay, I don't know, I don't think it's gonna happen because he's still so calm and we're even running late and he's still like, nah, it's fine, like calm. Not that he usually like is freaking out if we're late. He's usually very calm, but I was like, I feel like he'd be a little bit more on edge if something was gonna happen. So we get in the car and I was like, oh shoot, like I forgot to put on perfume. Not that it matters, but I was like, oh darn. And he's like, oh, like you can go put it on. And I was like, okay, we're like running late, but okay. Run back inside. I put the perfume on, run back out. I like didn't even have my shoes on. I was like going to put them on in the car and stuff. And we're driving there. We just called them ahead of time to make sure that it was still okay that we come a little bit late. It was fine. So we're sitting at brunch and Matt's eating his food like normal. Like we're chatting. I'm like, okay, it's not happening. But then I was like, why are we doing brunch? Like, why did we have to change from dinner to brunch? So I asked him, I was like, okay, so what do you want to do after this? Because like we're dressed nice and like now we have nothing planned for the evening or, you know, the afternoon. Like, what do you want to do? And he goes, oh, I thought we could stop by Villanova and see the new engineering building. And I was like, okay. I literally thought I was going to throw up. I was like, oh my God, now I know it's definitely happening. Yeah, I was like freaking out. But in that moment, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, stay calm. But I was like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. But still, he was like acting so calm. So I'm like, oh, I don't know. Maybe it's not going to happen. Like, I was so back and forth all day. I like ran to the bathroom real quick. I'm like, I gotta make sure my hair looks okay. Make sure like everything still looks how I want it to look. I was so nervous. And we got like little like brunch cocktails, and I don't really like drink alcohol like a ton, but I like threw back my drink and I was so nervous. I'm like, I don't even know what to do. Like I'm like grasping for anything that could calm me down in this moment. So I'm like, all right, let me just like take it. Only was like a little bit left in the glass. I'm like, let me just like throw that back. And Matt was like, oh, I think I'm done with mine. I'm like, oh, could I have a sip? Like I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what to do. I feel like I'm just giving way too much detail.
No, I love it.
Be like, I don't care.
I love the detail.
Okay. We like get going. We walk back to the car and I was like, okay, so you want to like stop by Villanova? Because we were in the area. Like it wasn't that crazy to suggest it. We don't really live near Villanova and we don't really go in that area that much. So we have said before, oh, we should go walk around campus. Like they've done so much. Like they've built so many new buildings. We should go for a walk, see how it's changed. And like, just, it'd be nice to just like walk around it again. Even we're like, oh, maybe in the fall or like Christmas time could be cute. We should go. So we said that before. So it wasn't like the craziest thing for him to suggest that, especially because we were like 10 minutes away. So we're walking to the car and I was like, okay, so yeah, you want to go to Villanova? He's like, yeah, I mean, like we don't have to if you don't want to. And I was like, no, like it's fine. We should. I'm like, I don't know.
Wait, what if
I was freaking out. I know. I've told people that he said that and everyone's like, that was risky. I'm like, I know.
Yeah.
So then we're driving. I plug my phone into the aux cord. I'm like figuring out what song will like calm me down a little bit right now.
Cute.
Let me see. I played Chiquitita by ABBA. And
you're such an ABBA girl.
I know. I love it. And then there's another song. I forget who it's by, but I've got to just... It was quite the range. It's called Menthol by Gene Dawson and Mac DeMarco. Not anything like ABBA. It's like, wait,
I feel like I know that song.
I'll play you.
It?
Yeah, I'll play you like a little clip.
Oh, I did not know this one. Okay, chill.
Yeah, but they start like screaming a little. It's not like...
That was what was calming you.
It's like, I don't know what to do. Like, it's like a little intense.
That does not seem calming.
I know. So I threw on some menthol and then I threw on...
Why did you think of that one?
It was like at the top of my like songs list and I'm like, sure, that works. Put it on.
You're like, I can't think.
Literally. I'm like, yeah. But honestly, I'm like, I don't want to have thoughts right now. I just want to like listen to like a song and just whatever. I don't know. So put on that song, put on Chiquitita next, like total opposite type of vibe. And we're like pulling in and Matt's like, oh, I don't know, like where should we park? Because the parking lot is like across the street from the campus. And then there's like a pretty pedestrian bridge that they have. And it walks right up to like the Villanova Church, which is its like main symbol of it's like on it's like on all their merch and stuff. It's like the symbol of Villanova. So it's cool because you're walking over the bridge and you're like, the church is like this your only view and it's cool. But anyways, so you park across the street. There's like SEPTA parking, which is like the public transportation, and there's signs everywhere like only permit parking here, student parking here. And we're like, where can we park? And he's like, I don't know where to park. I'm like, I don't know either. I'm like, I can't think right now. I'm just like nervous. So we did like a loop around the parking lot, finally parked, and turns off the car. And I was like, wait, no, we have to finish the song. It was like the end of Chiquitita, which is like the best part. I'm like, you gotta turn it back on. We have to finish the song. And he's like, okay. So he turns the car back on. We both sit there for like another minute just listening to the song, like in silence.
Just like staring forward.
Literally. And then I'm like, okay. We get out, we're walking up the stairs to the bridge, and then we're like walking over the bridge. At that point, I don't know why, everything is just out of my head. Like no thought of proposal is in my head. I was just focused on walking to the engineering building. Like that was just the only thought in my head. Like, okay, we're just like here we are and we're gonna walk to the engineering building. Like, I was just focused, I guess. I don't know why. I wasn't like thinking of anything else. I was kind of like looking at other, like, I don't know, when I go to college campuses, because my sister just graduated from Delaware in May and we were on campus, I just kind of like to see what people are wearing. I'm like, what's the trends right now? Like, colleges are such a bubble. I'm like, what's going on here? Because like, I feel like they have their own trends and stuff, and I just am so interested in that. So I was looking at the students walking around and stuff, not really paying attention to anything else. And then Matt starts like saying these nice things like, oh, you know, it's just so crazy how like 7 years ago we were here like passing each other on our way to class and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, like it's happening. Like right now it's happening. He started saying like the nicest, like most sentimental things. I was like, oh my God, like just freaking out. And we're like holding hands and he's like talking to me and I can like see a crowd kind of forming in my peripheral vision. And I look to the side and I see someone, like there's like a crowd of people watching because I think people were gathering what was going on.
Yeah.
Mostly because there was a camera. I look over, I see someone with a camera. They're like squatting on the ground, like, you know, trying to get the angles. And I was like, oh my God, that's a photographer. This is actually happening right now. And then I like looked closer. I'm like, oh my God, that's Julia. That's my sister. Like with like a cap on and like a weird outfit on. And so I looked to Matt. I'm like, oh my God, stop. Like I see Julia. Like I know what's happening. And I just kept saying stop. Apparently it's like my brain malfunctioned. I don't know. And apparently he was saying later, he's like, yeah, I thought you didn't want me to do it in that moment. Like I thought you were like, no, actually stop. Like don't do it right now. But he did it. He like continued talking and he's like, you're going to make me forget what I wanted to say. I was like, I'm sorry. Like I just can't. I don't know what's going on right now. I was very overwhelmed. He got down on one knee, pulled out the ring. I said yes. There are some beautiful pictures that Julia got. I just like blacked out for a good amount of what he was saying. Like I was so overwhelmed and nervous. And then later Julia was like, okay, like do you want to go take pictures around campus? Like what are your favorite spots? I'm like, I don't have like any thoughts in my head right now. I'm just so overwhelmed. I was just freaking out. But we took some nice pictures and then he was like, oh yeah, like I figured we could go back to your parents' house and like go celebrate or whatever. And I was like, yeah, of course, that's what I figured we would do because I figured they knew that this was happening. And then we get to my parents' house. So reminder, Matt was in Illinois until Wednesday of this week, and this is Saturday. And I was just with everyone in Illinois like the week before, and his older sister was too, and she lives in DC. So everyone had been doing a lot of traveling around, and like it was just a lot the week before and even like into the week that we were in. But we walked into my parents' house and like everyone was there. Like Matt's whole family was there too. Yeah, which was like such a shock because I'm like, oh my God, like you did not have to come to this. And it's just like, I'm like, they probably got their flights like super last minute because I doubt Matt knew exactly what day he wanted to do this on. So they probably bought like super expensive flights, like changed around plans, you know, like made this work and got here and stuff. And it was just like super nice of them to like be able to come. Yeah. So then we like celebrated and had dinner and stuff with my parents and it was nice.
Wow.
And that was it.
Wait, so do you remember what he said?
I remember certain parts of it, but he had it written down on a note in his phone.
Okay.
So I read it later and I was like, okay, now it all is coming back to me.
Yeah.
I actually made it part of my like Instagram caption when I posted about it. It was like, it's crazy how like whatever 7 years ago or honestly longer at this point, we were like rearranging our class schedules or our schedules so we could see our way on we could see each other on our way to class. And he was like, you're like, you know, the best person, so kind. Like he was saying really nice things about me and I have to ask him for it maybe.
Oh, you don't have to say the whole thing, but you know what?
Yeah, it was really cute. Yeah, it was really nice and I'm glad he had it written down because he did pretty much say it like word for word. So now it's nice that we'll like have that forever, like that moment. And the pictures are so pretty. They're so pretty. Honestly, before it happened, I would like talk to him about it. I'm like, I don't care how it goes. I don't care if there's pictures. I don't care if it's like in a scenic spot or not. I don't care how I look. Like, I just like want it to happen. Like, again, I want to like get started with everything and like I just want to be married essentially. Like, I just want to marry you. And I just like don't care about all that stuff. But now having it, I'm like, it is really nice to have those pictures. Yeah. Because like I still look at them. I'm like, oh my God, that was so cute and so fun. I'm happy. Like it has like that atmosphere like captured perfectly in these pictures. So it's nice. And I'm happy that we have like I said, like the note of what he said. And actually shout out my friend Brittany just got engaged this past weekend.
Wow.
And I told her boyfriend, now fiance, I'm like, whatever you're planning on saying, like, write it down, because she might not remember it in the moment, because like it's so overwhelming. You kind of like, I blacked out. Like, I don't remember really that well. So he's like, okay, cool. So he did like write his stuff down, and then I saw her a few days ago and she's like, no, that was such a good idea. Like, I'm so happy that it's like written down.
That is such a good idea.
Yeah. So yeah, exciting stuff.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so fun. And then what did you do that night? Like, you guys just like go home and like...
I don't know why talking about this stuff like makes me sweat. Like, talking about when people ask how my new job is, I start sweating. When people ask about the engagement, I start sweating. I'm like,
I'm so sorry.
No. It's like fun and happy. I don't know why I'm like just sweating.
It's just a lot.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. Oh my God. Okay. So you did like kind of know, or you were like anticipating things. Okay.
Yeah. So the outfit that I was wearing, it's not like I had pictured myself wearing that for my entire life, but it just was like, it was a nice outfit. I'm happy I wore it. And I'm happy that I kind of did get to choose what I was wearing for it. But I also didn't really care what I was wearing a lot. Like, there was not a lot of pressure on that. But it was nice. I got to kind of like dress nicer. I wore like a white skirt. I'm like, oh, we'll go like lighter colors, like bridal kind of.
I love it. Oh yeah. God, that's so fun.
Yeah.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
I love it.
There were some like little tidbits that Matt told me later that I can share. Like, he didn't know how to get the ring into the car without me noticing, like when we were going to brunch.
Yeah.
So he had it in his sock, like under his pant leg, because the box would have shown in his pocket 100%. Yeah. So when he told me to go put my perfume on, he wanted to take the box out of his sock and like put it in the car just while we were at brunch. He wouldn't have it in his sock.
Yeah.
So he was like, oh yeah, go put on your perfume, because like that was a good opportunity for him to like take it out of his sock and put it somewhere without me seeing. But he's like, you don't keep a lot of junk in your car, because I was gonna like hide it somewhere. But he's like, you don't have like anything in your car. So I just like threw it in the cup holder. I'm like, that was fine. I didn't notice it at all, obviously.
Yeah.
And then again, he put it back in his sock when we got to Villanova. And then when he was down on one knee, there's a picture of him like pulling it out of his sock. And it's so funny because everyone was like, that was genius. Like, you couldn't see it at all.
An engineer would think of that.
Exactly. Yep. Everyone's like, oh, the sock. Never would have thought. I'm like, I know. And I low-key, like, I did look at his pockets a few times because I was curious. And I'm like, nope, I don't see anything. So maybe it's not happening.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good job, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
So how long did he have the ring before this happened? Did he tell you that?
He used my brother-in-law's jeweler, who I guess is like maybe a family friend of some sort for my brother-in-law. He went to him like quite a few times to pick out the ring, and then he officially picked it up in June, I think.
Okay.
And so he wasn't able, that's what I mean, like he was trying to have it happen earlier, but stuff just kept coming up. Yeah. And he was like, this is never going to happen. Like, I think he was getting frustrated. He's like, oh my God, like, I can't believe like we still haven't done this. Because it was Labor Day weekend when we officially got engaged. So,
wow.
Yeah, but he said he had it hiding, like, he has like an office and it has a big closet. That's where all of his clothes are. And then in like our room is where all my clothes are. Sometimes he just like has his closet doors open, but he had the ring, like there's like a shelf with some shirts on it. He had the ring like in the shirts kind of. And every time I walked into his office just to like say hi or whatever, he'd be like looking to make sure that like I couldn't see the box among the shirts. And like I never would have noticed.
Yeah, you'd have to like go searching.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you pick out the style of ring, or was it Matt?
He picked it out. I had mentioned that I just want something simple. Apparently, I said I wanted like the round shape and I didn't want any other shape. But then as time went on, I stopped caring about the shape. I still wanted the simple, just like single stone, but I didn't care if it was like rectangle, square, oval. I don't know. I didn't really care, but
so pretty.
I don't know if I actually said that out loud or not, but yeah, I don't know. I just said like once or twice maybe that I wanted a simple ring. He did ask me one time, like, okay, so you want just like one diamond, like nothing else on it? And I'm like, yeah, that works. So that's pretty much all he had to work on. But I didn't really want to, like, I wanted him to pick it out.
Okay.
I didn't really want to like hope too much. I wanted it to be a surprise.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted him to like, I don't know, do what he wanted to do and figure it out. Yeah, it's beautiful though.
It's pretty. Oh like, my God, I love it.
Yeah, I was like shocked when he opened that box. I was like, oh my God, that's so pretty. He did a great job. It was like 2.5 sizes too big though. So the whole time that I was wearing it, like after we got engaged, my hand is like, I'm like keeping my fingers so tight.
Like holding it where
yeah,
it is.
because it was like super loose. Like it could just slide off my fingers so easily.
What size are you?
I guess I'm just under a 7 because then I just got it resized again and it went down to a 7, but it's still too big. So I have this little like...
Wait, what size did he got like a 9?
Like an 8.5.
Oh my gosh.
He used a ring that was sitting on my dresser, but I wear it on my pointer finger.
Oh yeah.
And my pointer finger is so much bigger. Yeah. So he used that for the size, and then they even sized up from that to make sure that I had like some wiggle room. So it was very big.
Yeah. Okay.
But I have this little like clip-on thing that I got from Amazon.
Nice.
And that makes it fit like perfectly. I think I must be like a 6.75 or something, like just under a 7, because the 7 is still too loose, and it will like spin around and be on my palm. And I'm like, oh, like gotta fix it. It was too big for a while, and then it was still a little too big for a while. I just like didn't really wear it after I got engaged, especially because at work I'm wearing like latex gloves and stuff and hand sanitizing a lot. So it didn't really like feel real for a while because I wasn't wearing the ring. Not that that's what like makes it real, but yeah, now I can wear it and I love it so much. I'm so happy.
It's so pretty. Can I look at it close up again?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I can send you a picture. We can
so pretty.
Insert a picture.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Timeless.
Yeah.
Oh my God, thanks. I love it. It's so pretty. Oh my God. And the gold. Thanks. It's just
I know. Perfect. I really liked the gold. And then when I got to work on Monday, the girl who I had talked to on Friday about it, she's like, how was your weekend? I was like, well, I was right, because I did wear the ring that day because I was like, I have to show people.
Yeah.
So she was so happy. It was cute.
That's so cute. Oh my God, so exciting.
I'm trying to think of what else Matt like said afterwards that was funny, because like I didn't know. I feel like that was probably it. Maybe just like the sock thing. He was like, I need to like, he was stressed about like me not seeing it and him like transporting it from like the house to the car to Villanova. Oh, and then Julia was there. Oh, also, I did check my sister's locations. I'm so annoying. I like surprises, like I really do, and ideally I want it to be like surprised with like this proposal, but in the moment I was so nervous and freaking out. I think that I just had to like confirm it somewhat for myself to like calm down a little bit. So that's why I was like looking at Matt's pockets to see like if I could see a box, and I was checking my sister's locations on Find My Friends, and I couldn't see them. So I'm like, all right, they turned off their locations, like that's a little sus, or my phone's not loading them, I don't know. But I was like, okay, I'm kind of able to confirm that this is happening, but still wasn't sure. Yeah. Like other things were confusing me. Like Matt was so calm. But Julia and my mom and Emily had gone to Villanova ahead of time, like a few days ahead of time. And even my niece, who was like 3 months at the time, and they scoped out like a good location for Matt to do it. And they like sent a picture to him, and they drew like an X on the picture, like right here is where you should kneel down. And then they had planned on Julia being there in disguise to take pictures. So they're like, all right, you have to stop at like this first set of whatever pillars or whatever, like on the bridge and stuff. So that was funny. But when we were walking over the bridge, I had mentioned that I was looking at people's clothing and stuff because, like, I don't know, it's just interesting to me. There was someone that was like just standing on the bridge, leaning over the edge, just like looking at the overpass. Like it's like an overpass.
Yeah, like over a road.
Yeah, there's just cars driving by. And they had on like white running sneakers, black and white polka dot mid-calf socks, like running, like Nike running shorts, and a salmon colored polo shirt, like with a collar, and then like a backwards hat on. And I remember like everyone else was in like cute outfits from just like gazing around. And I did look at that person. I was like, that's interesting, but okay, like whatever. I don't know, whatever. Weird outfit, but like sure. And it turns out that was Julia. But we were like cracking up later. She's like, I'm like, yeah, you drew attention to yourself. Like I remember like clocking your outfit and being like, what is that? But then like obviously just kept walking and like moved on from it. But I was like, what the heck? And she was like, well, like Villanova kids are all nerds, so I thought that they would be always wearing like polos. Yeah, I'm like, no, like it's just like a college campus. They're wearing what other college kids wear. I don't know. So she like literally borrowed like one of my mom's polos and had on like these crazy socks. I'm like, what the heck? She's like, well, it worked. You didn't know it was me. I'm like, honestly, it did work. I was like, I have no idea what is going on.
Like, what is this human?
Yeah, literally. And someone later was laughing. They were like, oh yeah, like you were the one person just like leaning over, just like enjoying the cars driving by. Like, who's doing that? Who's just hanging out on that bridge, like watching the scenic like Lancaster Avenue? I'm like, honestly, that's so true. Why did I not like question that more?
I feel like though, because when you're like walking through the world, like people are just doing things.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You can't wonder why everyone's doing everything they do.
I know. Yeah, but no, it was funny that I like did notice her, and then she was the one like on the ground like taking the pictures. I didn't even know who she was for a second. So
okay, it worked.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, I think that's like everything. There were so many little like things that later Matt was like, oh yeah, you didn't know this, and like this is why this happened, but I think I covered all of them. So yeah,
I love all the detail. And now it's on to wedding planning.
Yeah, I know. It's exciting.
It's so wild that when you get engaged, then you have to start planning like a full wedding.
I know. That's like you go from just like living your life, like going to work, doing whatever you do. And now we're planning a major event. One day you're fine. Next day it's like you have this big event coming up and you have to plan it.
I don't get it.
You know?
No, I can't imagine. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think you answered most of my questions.
Okay, I was going to say
in the story.
Okay,
wait. My one other question. Do you feel different now in any way?
I guess a little bit like, how do I want to say this? Like, I guess going back to how we weren't on the same page for a little bit. Like, I was ready and Matt wanted to take some more time with like getting engaged. Now I feel like we're just both like happy, and like we're both so happy to be here like in this place in life. And not that there was like tension or arguments or anything really before, but like it feels like something is lifted maybe a little bit. Maybe even just like the anticipation of it and not knowing when it was going to happen. Now that is like over with, it's just a little bit like lighter feeling. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're both super, super happy and excited, and we're reaching out to venues and stuff. Yeah.
Wow.
Wait, also, so funny. All of my friends were in Europe. Matt had texted like 4 or 5 of my like closest friends to see if they could be at our house after it happened. All of them were in Europe. And my mom like didn't believe him. She's like, no, they're not. And he's like, why would I make that up? Like they're all on vacation in Europe right now. Like, but what a weird coincidence. Like,
that is weird.
So that was funny. But I was saying it was fine because the amount of people that were at my house was a good amount. Like, I was so overwhelmed, and I was like up here, like overwhelmed, anxiety, and I did not come back down like for the entire day. Like, I was just very like, I don't know. So I'm like, any more people in my house, maybe it would have been a little bit too much for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's good with family.
It was good. Yeah, it was nice. But then a week or two later, Matt texted me again at work, and he's like, do you want to go out for drinks tonight? And I was like, what? And again, I felt a little bit of nervousness. I'm like, oh my God, is he proposing? And then I'm like, wait, no. He already did it. But also, why is he planning something right now?
You're just like Pavloved into like anything.
Yes, literally. So I was like, okay, what the heck? So then he's like, yeah, like let's go get drinks. I'm like, sure. And he's like, I was thinking we could like get out of like our town and go to this other town, just because we're always like going out in our town and stuff, and like, you know, let's go somewhere new. And I was like, okay, sure. But why? Like, I don't know. I didn't want to question it, because I'm like, I appreciate that you're planning this, and like I like the initiative. And I don't know, it's just a fun thing to do. So I didn't want to be like, why? But in my head, I'm like, what is going on? It was like a Thursday night, and he's like, all right, like I'm thinking we can go for like their happy hour. I'm like, okay, cool. It's like 7 p.m. and we still haven't left. I'm like, I don't think we're going to go to the happy hour. But I didn't want to like say anything and be like, oh, we're going to miss the happy hour, because he was like planning it all. So I was just like, all right, like trying to go with the flow, like whatever. We go to this bar that he found, and we walk in. I was like, do you just want to like eat here? Because at this point it's like 7:30. Do you just want to like get food too and not just drinks? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I was like, okay. And we walk in. There's like a bar right where we are. And I'm like, okay, do you want to, walk in? And he's like, yeah, but like I think I made a reservation. And I was like, okay, like you think? But I'm like, okay, all right, sure, like whatever. So he steps up to the host stand, and he goes, oh, like I'm here for Matt. I couldn't really hear him because it was loud, but he was telling me later the host was like scrolling and like nothing was coming up because there was no reservation. And then he like looks at this other girl that works there, and she is like, oh, here, follow me. We start walking upstairs, and I'm like, what the heck? There's a bar right there that we could sit at. Like, why? Because Matt said, like, is there a bar upstairs? And she's like, oh yeah, follow me. And I'm like, why can't we just sit here? Why are we being difficult? So we walk upstairs. We walk through this room. There is a full out rehearsal dinner going on in this room. We walk through the room past another bar. So I'm like,
this is a big place.
Yeah. Actually, it's very small, but like they have a lot of rooms. But I was like, what is going on? Now we're disrupting a rehearsal dinner. Like, are none of these bars good enough for you that we could just sit at? The girl goes, oh yeah, it's just beyond that curtain. I'm like, where are we? Like, I guess there's another bar way back here. I don't know. Is it quieter, like more private? I don't know. I'm like, why are we walking all the way back here? Matt walks in behind this curtain. I walk in, and all of my friends were there at a table, and we had dinner, and it was a surprise, and it was really cute.
Fun.
Yeah, it was cute. But that really got me. I was so surprised because I thought all the surprises were done.
Yeah.
It was cute, but also it was just so funny. I'm like, why are we being so difficult right now? Like we could have just sat downstairs. Like it was funny.
So cute.
Yeah, so that was cute too.
Your picture was so cute with all of them.
Yeah.
You're like lifelong
nice.
friends. Like,
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been fun stuff so far. Yeah.
Yay.
So cute.
Oh my God, I can't wait to see your wedding. Like your style and like vision. You're just like so artistic and creative, and like it's gonna be so pretty.
I'm scared. I don't have like any thoughts for it right now. I have to look at my Pinterest board, but it's also from like high school. So I'm going to have to update it a little bit, see what's
Take screenshots
new.
of it, like the rainbow bridesmaids dresses.
Yeah,
and,
right.
Like, yeah, sunflowers
Chevron.
in a mason jar.
The mason jars, yep.
I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing on the pod.
Of course.
Oh my God, yay.
I know.
Wow.
Exciting stuff.
I love the story.
Thanks. Yay.
I'm so excited. That
and
you
now
told
I
me.
have it like recorded forever.
Yes.
So cute.
Yes.
Aw.
Yay. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you.
Thanks.
It's so exciting.
Yeah. Shout out to everyone who helps Matt and kept the secret. It was so nice. I appreciate everyone.
Oh,
it was so nice. Yeah. It's kind of like, oh my God, why is everyone doing this all for me? Like just for me. You know, it was cute.
Aww.
It was nice.
You deserve it.
Thank
you. Really do.
Thanks.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening to our episode. Tell Tricia congrats in the comments.
Thank you.
We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.